Micah, part 3. Now, I've been looking at the text because I was confused here. Oh, wait a second, let me start right here. This is what happened last time, and I just want to give you an overview of what happened and how it looks when it's cleaned up. So if you're going to take a screenshot, go right ahead. Okay, I was confused there a little bit. I'm looking at why is this cursor on the other screen? Where is it at? Okay, and you can see this last group right here is this group right here, and I needed that as just a reminder to go forward, because a lot of this text is either 2-verse or 3-verse, and it just gets confusing and it gets separated here and then it goes to 3-verse. And we're going to go through this. So, as a reminder, that's where we started from. We blow this up. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, our Creator said that He will lead us in His way of life for us, that we walk in His path. Walk in this path, the path meaning His way of life. So the text starts out, for from Zion will go forth the law. Okay, now when it usually says like the word from YV or of YV, we know it's from YV, but he just doesn't have words. He prophesies what's going to happen, and that's, so the word prophecy needs to be here. So a prophecy from YV, and I put to Jerusalem, and I put a yellow here, meaning is it really to Jerusalem, or does it need to be added text? Now, for from Zion will go forth the law. Well, Mount Zion is the stars making the motion of a mountain, with the North Star being the mountain. Now, I know that they consider and try to use Mount Zion as where Jerusalem was built, but that's a mount. It's hill country, but along the top of the hill was pretty flat. So it could have been sometimes referred to as Mount Zion. But Jerusalem is there, so we'll go forth the law. And then it says a prophecy from YV to Jerusalem. So this is just reading so odd out of place. It's gone. Okay, a prophecy from YV to Jerusalem. I guess I don't need the word for here. He will judge between many peoples and render decisions for distant kingdoms. Now, when this is saying he will judge between many peoples, this is almost like Jesus will judge between many people or many races. This seems to be like races. He will judge between the many races. So this could actually be Jesus here they're talking about. I mean, when you look at it, because let's go on with the next text. Now, this also I had divided because it could be 2. Okay, 2-verse, 2-verse, 2-verse. But when I keep reading this, he will judge many people between many people and render decisions for distant kingdoms. It could be broke there depending on the style of the writing. Okay, when we look at the style of the writing, then we have to look at these two, and here you can see that these are full sentences, and they will hammer their swords into plowshares. Now this here, swords into plowshares, this is where it could be divided right here. Okay, but when I divide that, it doesn't look right or doesn't read right, because you could get rid of them and they will hammer their swords into plowshares. So this looks like this is correct as 2-verse. Okay, But here, when we come down here, nation will not lift up sword against nation or kingdom. Let's just get rid of kingdom will not lift up their swords against kingdoms, and never again will they train for war. Well, we just know that that's not true. So this has to be a lie, or it doesn't go with what's being said. Because this, to do this would be, it's never happened. So it can't be truth. But it does say somebody knows the format here. And they're writing things that aren't truthful, yet they're in the format. And each of them will sit under his vine and under his fig tree. And no one will make them afraid. YHVH has spoken. Now, these, I just see them as out, because these are talking as if this is true, going to be true. And we know that's not true. These up here, this is possible, because you could be, I'm trying to think of when this could be, but right now I'm just going to say it's possible. But right now I could actually go and say, well, that's a 3, and now this other one 2 is out. Okay. So, because when you're looking for a format, you got to find words that actually are going to tell you the story. Now here it becomes interesting. I guess this would be although like this, although all the races, see how this would read all the races. So if I put races here, I'm pretty sure that's, people should understand that. Although all races walk in the name of their creator. Actually, they live. They don't walk. They live by their creator. So, in the name of, I would say not his, but their creator. And all this could say, but we live but we live in the name of YHVH. But we live in the name of their creator. But we live in the name YHVH. He is our creator forever. You don't need this. Okay, but that just sounds like somebody else. This is not the prophecy, and we're left off at prophecy. And here, this starts out with the word prophecy here, and this is like I said, if we think that this is Jesus here, and yes, they will hammer out there. And I can see that as a possibility of one trying to understand that he's going to be a king. And it didn't happen that way. I can see them thinking this way. Okay? All the original. But see, this here doesn't tie to this up here. I don't know if you can see that, if there's enough here to say this, because this is out. I'm not really concerned whether it's a format or not. I just see this is not, this is too separate, okay? But let's see if this continues. Bring this up here, because I don't think it does. In that day declared YV, I would say D here, he will assemble the lame and gather the outcast. In that day declares YV, he will assemble the lame and gather, he will assemble the lame and gather our outcast. This would be our, because I'm just thinking here out loud. Whoops. Those whom I have afflicted, I will make the lame a remnant, and the outcasts. He never made him a kingdom. He never made him a nation. And I went through advanced and tried to figure out, because this has to be done every time. When I put all of them together, I just said this word has got to have this word next to it, because I have to keep explaining the difference between what a nation is and what a kingdom is. I will make the lame a remnant and the outcast strong. Okay. And I, YV, will reign over them from, because he's not on the Mount Zion, but he's above it in his heaven. So this part is definitely not true. From now on and forever. But there's nothing here that I can tie back and forth, so it all of a sudden becomes a 2-verse. And as for you, tower of the flock, the hill for Zion, that doesn't make any sense. Because here he's putting them together, going to make them strong. And he's going to reign over them from now on forever. Well, that really isn't a truthful statement here. Unless we're talking about Jesus here and then we're in heaven. But this is not. These are two separate. Okay, those we now know just aren't separate. I mean, they're just stuck there. In fact, if they're stuck there and they're by 2, 2, 2, then this here is just stuck in here. So what we have is pieces. Okay, this is a piece. This is a piece. So now that we got that out of our way and it doesn't really connect with everything, now let's work with this. This is a piece here. And this doesn't work to go with this. Oh, this actually can go together. Now this, don't need that. The former dominion will come. Dominion, this is, there's no dominions. There's kingdoms and there's Israel. the nation our Creator led out of Israel or out of Egypt was a nation made up of 12 ruling states. Okay, that's what a nation is. Kingdom is individual, even though it can be made up of. They have one king type of thing. And this daughter of Zion, this is just not true. Never was it referred to as the daughter of Jerusalem. Well, let's put it this way. Hill Zion, the hill of Jerusalem. This might be my flock. It will come to you the four. Okay, I've had enough of this. This is just not making sense. Okay, and I don't know why I'm fighting for so long. Well, I'm trying to tie it together, and it's hurting my brain when I'm doing this. Why do you cry out loudly? Is there no king among you? Or has your counselors perished? This would be for agony will. Well, if it's prophecy, he's telling it will come. So for agony will grip you like a woman in childbirth. Okay. Why do you cry aloud? And put aloud here. And then get rid of this. Why do you cry aloud? Is there no king among you? And that is because he would have killed him or told the prophecy. There's so much in my head that if this is the end of Jerusalem, they killed the king. Okay, so there is no king among you all of a sudden. Or has your counselors perished? Or have your counselors not perished? They died. Okay. I would put, if he's talking about the future, he'd have to put, there will be no king among you. And it would be, you will cry aloud. So I'm trying to put this, when does our Creator's prophecy happen? He tells them about what's going to happen, not so much after it's happened, is he bragging about it. So this is, wow. Look at that. I will reign over them because this, for there is no king among you, nor will you have counselors. So why do you cry out loud? There is no king among you. And then this, because if I hook it with this top one, this is the pattern, this one's out. So can I match this one here? No, it wants to say it goes with this one. And there's nothing here that's going to hook to this. So either this one's out or this one is out. Let's go on and see what happens here. Agony will grip you like a woman in childbirth. Wait a second. Now I got like a woman in childbirth. Now you'll go out of your city and dwell in their fields and live in the field and go to Babylon. Well, if they go to Babylon, they don't live in the field, obviously. So, but to have wow, this, get rid of this, go up here, boy. How's that? It all, for agony will grip you like a woman in childbirth. For now you will go, for now you will leave from your cities and go to Babylon. From there you will be rescued. There I will redeem you. And go to Babylon, and there I will redeem you in the hand of your enemies. Okay, do that. And now many nations have been assembled against you. Now that's just not reading like what I've been working on. This they're already gone. But even this next one kind of hooks to this. It's like all of a sudden it does this separation again. Well, it looks like we're going to have to choose this one to be gone. And then this one here goes like that. It needs fixing. But there's the three. This is what this is talking about. This is a good group. Okay. Sorry. Sometimes I got to talk myself into it. This here means nothing. Well, they don't have hoofs, so. Well, what is your horn? Make it like iron. This, that you may pulverize many people, you may devote to ivy. And their wealth to the Lord of all the earth. But this has never been true. This is not nothing. They didn't pulverize anybody. Not after they were made a remnant. I mean, this is just not there. This just seems to be out of place, because if we're doing two verse, who said, let her be polluted and let her eyes gloat over Zion, over Jerusalem. But they do not know the thoughts of wiving, they do not understand his purpose, for he has gathered them like sheaves to a thresh. This is just, oh, but it would be a part to go someplace else, I think, because I don't have enough to go on. But this is out because it just doesn't make sense. Now muster yourselves in troops, daughter of troops. Well, we know that this one isn't the right one. They have laid siege against you. With a rod they will smite and judge Israel. The judge Israel on the cheek. With a rod they will smite Israel on the cheek. But as for you, Bethlehem, you will be among the clans of Judah, tribes of Judah, of the clans, families, not clans, families in Judah. For one of you go forth for me and rule in Israel. That's not true. He is going forth long ago in the days from eternity. Now this does speak to when Jesus said he was before the world was born, okay? I know that to be true. And all that you see created here is about, here on earth anyway, is to become Jesus's servants in heaven. So all this, I can see this. To be ruler from Israel. Well, why would he give them up until a time? That doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to make sense of this. Because now muster yourselves in troops. They have laid siege against you. With a rod they will smite Israel on the cheek. Israelis on the cheek. Which means the good people. But as for you, Bethlehem, whatever here is too little to be among the families. From you one will go forth for me to be ruler for Israel, Israelis. He is going forth from long ago and from days of eternity. Therefore he will give them up until that time. Oh, when she who is in labor, has borne a child, then the remainder of his brethren will return to the sons. No, he gathers them, so this is just not true. I'm seeing a lot of this as, therefore he will give them up until that time. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't our creator speaking. It can't be. I just don't see it. But that would be a 4-verse. And this would be like this. But for this, to do this, get rid of that, and why we will give them up until that time. Now this does sound like he's finger wagging. This doesn't say that troops they have laid siege against us with a rod they will smite Israel's on cheek. Well, that does sound like our creator. Hold on. But as for you, Bethlehem, you will be among the clans, families for Judah. For from you one will go forth with me. Although that's not right. I mean, you are among, Bethlehem is among. As this is almost like this. Bethlehem, you Bethlehem. I'm trying to make sense out of this. Are among, but I don't know if I'm correcting it. It's going to be nothing anyway. They wouldn't be talking to a city. Is among the families. Is among the families from Judah, and that would be the male, the man. Fine. So this and then this. Bethlehem is among the families from Judah. From you one will go forth for me to be ruler for Israelis. Israelis are considered anybody who is still believing in our Creator. Jews, the way the text leads us, is that they were the ones against our Creator. So the difference between an Israeli and a Jew is one who believes Jesus and one who does not. Okay? And where do I get the word Jews from? Well, if Judah has Judeans, and then you define the difference between the Judeans as believers and non-believers. Jews are the non-believers of Judeans that were believers. But all Israelis are included in the ones that are believing. Just for you to understand the definition of the words here. Yes, this is talking about Jesus. Okay. I'm going to have to clean that up, and I'll do that. But this, this goes like this. and I will give them up, meaning our Creator. Being that he's speaking, yeah, I like that. Okay, we're talking about Jesus, so right now I'm seeing this verse. Let's see up here. Let me put hands when I'm reading this. It just seems that that's more truthful. Now muster yourselves in truth, for they have laid siege against you. With a rod they will smite you. And this is separate. So somehow these might just be pieces stuck in all over again. This here, and he will arise. He will rise and herd his flock. He will rise and herd his flock by the strength of YV. Or in the majesty of his name. And like this, YV his Creator. That's okay. This would have to be out. His flock. Yeah, I can live with these here as being added. And no, I won't say I added them. In his majesty, in the majesty of his name, in the greatness of his name. I'm thinking that it sounds good, better than majesty right now. In the greatness of his name. YV his Creator. They will remain, because at that time he will be great to the ends of the earth. They will remain his. They remain his from that time. I don't know if you could do this one. This one's awfully difficult. So I wouldn't say start with this one as a beginner. You really need to know a lot, as this one is just jumping up, and it is really, I don't know, 40 minutes. I don't think I got 5 verses here. I don't think I've done hardly anything. I've talked a lot, but his Creator, and they will remain his from that time, and he will be great, and he will be great to the end of earth. Not to the ends, to the end of earth. This one will be our peace. I don't know about that. And by this one, even though it's calling Jesus this one, I hate doing that. I'd rather, and by Yah, by this one, they will have peace. By this one. I'm going to put it here. You have peace in heaven, okay? That's what heaven's about. Peace from all the crap, all those evil people. No more evilness. No more. Okay, now this is definitely. I mean, did you read that? All of a sudden it goes from Jesus talking about the end of the world, and we're back to a series of Assyrians invaded our land. That's as like backward up 200 years. Well, to get to here is going to be 200 years, and now we're going back 200 years from what we're talking about before. When the Assyrians invades our land, when he tramples on ourselves, they will rise up against him. No, that never happened. That's a lie. So this is just made up. Even though it's got a, like I said, they're deceiving you by trying to even, these would be put in on purpose before the manuscripts. 7 herders and 8 leaders of men, they will shepherd. No. Land of Syria with a sword, land of Nimrod, it has entrances. No, we aren't talking about this. When he attacks our land, then he tramples our territory. Then the remnant of Jacob will be among many peoples. Like dew from ivy, like showers on vegetation, which do not wait for man or delay for the sons of man. And the remnant from Jacob will be among them. See, that's repetitive. So, like young lions in the forest, among the flocks of sheep, which he passes through, tramples down, tears, and then to rescue. Your hand will be lifted up against your adversaries, and all your enemies will be cut off. No, that doesn't happen. It'll be on that day declares, I'll cut off your horses from among you and destroy your chariots. Now, how much more of this is? I will cut off the cities of your land, tear down all your fortifications. I will cut off your saucers from your hand, and you'll have fortune tellers no more. Now, this is sounding like our Creator. So, it will be in that day. We can just go like that. That day, I will cut off your horses. I will cut down your horses and destroy your chariots. So this isn't needed. But this goes like this. This would kind of go together. I'm gonna have to put this back to 14 and take a better look at it. Now that I know that this is our Creator speaking here, but this isn't. This is just, it's a group, but it's not needed. This would be Assyrian attacking their lands and trample on our territories, but trample our nations. Then the remnant from Jacob will be among many people. That would be Israel. Like a young lion among the beasts of the forest, like a young lion among the sheep, which he passes through. This doesn't need, this here is going together with this. Tramples down and tears, and there is none to rescue. Your hand will be lifted up against your adversaries. All your, see, that ties together. I will cut off their horses and destroy their chariots. I will cut off the cities of your land and tear down all your fortifications. I cut off the sorcerers from you. Okay, this isn't the Assyrians. This is the Babylonians. This is talking the end. And yes, now we're back to the 400 years this way, or 200 years this way. The Assyrians here. Where am I at? Here. So then this is a foregroup from the land. This is just Babylon. For the land of Babylon, the land of Nimrod, and its entrances, he will deliver us from Assyrians. No, okay. No, that never happened. It's not there. I'm going to just do this. I'm going to borrow this, change that to the Syrian or Babylon. INS, Babylonians, Babylon. INS. I don't know. Let's do this and see if they got, okay. I tried hard. This is, will attack your land. But from this, I can't use this. The Babylonians will attack your land. Whoops, your land. And trample down your and this would be your tribes. It would be your nations here. This would be your nations. Well, I've got something here. I'm getting that feeling. Then the remnant of Israel's is the then the remnant. Israelis. That's what the remnant. Then the remnant of Israelis will be among their many, and this is racist. This is racist. I just this is just, you know, for years I've tried to convince myself that. Now I'm now more sure than ever. Well, trample. I don't know if this is right here. I mean, they will. Whoops. Will trample down and tear. Will kill and tears. They will. And this just needs to be changed to kills and. They will kill and tear, and there is no one to rescue you. This now sounds like the prophecy against Jerusalem. Remember when I put that little yellow up there, way up there? Your hands will be tied, not lifted up. Your hands will be lifted up like I give up against your enemies. So your hands you will raise. Your hands will be, I guess, lifted up. They're given up. Okay, that's what this means. Your hands will be lifted up against your adversaries and all your enemies. And all your enemies will cut you off. Destroying Jerusalem. We got to stay with that theme. And all your enemies will cut you off. That day declares, and all your enemies will cut you off that day. We already have him, our Creator, speaking, but this day is his day. And for this, I will cut down your horses, or they will cut down your horses. They will cut down your horses and destroy your chariots. So I guess they're going to have chariots when they're fighting. They will cut down your cities. And tear down your fortifications. to cut off diviners, not sorcerers, but diviners. You know, the ones that are sitting and meditating and having sex with a so-called female goddess, from cut off diners or diviners from your land. And have fortune tellers no more. Okay, I was trying to put these words. I was thinking that's what goes here. And have no more fortune tellers. So, and have fortune tellers no more. Astrologers, okay, type of things. And this does go with this. And I'm thinking, I guess it should be I will. And then I will cut off the diviners. Let's put it this way, I'll kill the diviners from your land. Yeah. And you will have, I'm going to move this down. It keeps reading in my head like it should be over here. So I'm just going to move this to here. And you will have no more fortune tellers. I will kill or I will destroy their images. This is carved images. These are idols. And I'll destroy your, but they weren't all carved. We learned that they're cast as well. They're carved and cast. They're overlaid with gold and silver. I will destroy her images. That's the female goddess, the Ashereth, or whatever you call her. They've got like 3 names. They all mean the same. And these would not be pillars, they would be altars. They made their own makeshift altars. And your altars from among you. If they made pillars, would they be putting her images on pillars? I will destroy her, or put 4 here, Tur. I will destroy her images and pillars. Yeah, I guess that would be, I have my mind made up as how they did things, because I know they were doing that. And I'll destroy her images and her pillars and her images and her, yeah, it's got to be her. I was trying to make it her creator, which would be Ra, the sun god, and her pillars from among. I will destroy her images and her pillars. They're gone. Okay, they are going to be there. Okay. That you will no longer bow down to the work of your hands. Here she is. Right there. And root out from among you. And uproot. You know, getting rid of a weed, you kill it by taking out the root. And destroy, I would say, her cities. I'll execute my vengeance in anger and wrath. Okay, 102, okay. I've got to clean this up. I will execute my vengeance in anger and wrath. And this will be your nations. Your nations. Which have not obeyed me. On your nations for not obeying me. Okay, I can see that I've got 4 verse, and this one needs a verse or needs something, so I'm just going to do this. And I'm going to clean this up and post that, and then I don't know how far. I got to make up. Oh man, there's a lot. I think I got 2 more hours yet to do here. 2 hours more. But at least we got this one figured out. I mean, now we're getting back to our creator speaking, but is it just a piece here that needs to be stuck over there or whatever? But let's get on with it. Too long, too